Hi everybody. Well, today Carson and I are visiting the Adirondack Museum and gonna check this place out. There's some cool stuff here and all kinds of interesting things. We'll take you around. And in case anybody wonders, that is a hay saw. When you did put hay in the loft and we needed to cut down through the loose hay, you do that. I used to own one. Big surprise, right? Okay, so for those unfamiliar with what the Adirondack Mountains are in New York, it's a 6 million acre park that is in the New York Constitution to be forever wild. And it's about half privately owned and half publicly owned. And to get an idea, there, White Lake there, that's Lake Placid, where we went through. Near there, Saranac Lake, Wild Centers, and Tupper Lake. So you can see how far apart those are. We are in Long Lake down there, and we are on our way over here to Old Forge.
Whoa, look.
And Carson's playing with a string of lakes here, so we'll take you through around. But that's a general overview. Lake Champlain is over there. Hudson River starts up here,
Where's Lake Champlain?
and Lake Ontario's off that way. It was Watertown's over there somewhere.
It's India Lake.
Interesting taxidermy from the 19th century. This one called the prize fight. Different play on dogs playing poker. Rabbit school. And the kitten's wedding. They did a lot of strange stuff back then. So get an idea how 100 years change and change the Adirondacks, and it's surprisingly not that much. 2.8 million acres in the Adirondack Park. 1.2 is publicly owned, million acres. It's about 6.5 hours by railroad from New York City to the Fulton Chain, which is around Old Forge. 100,000 permanent residents, 4,154 miles of public roads, and about 500 miles of passenger track, 15 iron mines, 92 sawmills, and 11 paper mills. 100 years later, there's 6 million acres of the park. 2.4 is publicly owned. 6 hours by automobile from New York City to the Old Forge. Only 30,000 more permanent residents. About 50% more miles of public road. And there's 40 sawmills, 3 paper mills. So, surprisingly, although things have changed in the park, they haven't changed that much. Right, so this is like a rustic Adirondack cabin, a lot of twig furniture, birch bark covered things. You know, even the bed is made out of twigs. Get real fancy like that thing over there. And the legs on that table. It's just a little Adirondack cabin. So this was from the Marion River Cary Railroad, Bracket Lake Transport Company.
open the thing. Can't believe it. I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, I can imagine sitting here and they'd have somebody stoking it. This would ring the bell. All these controls. And really, there's not much. But taking an excursion back in the day, instead of driving through looking at the leaves, you could ride on something like this.
Good morning.
So you could go do all kinds of decorations with the sticks. And even on the inside with the different kinds of wood. Or you make your gazebo out of natural cedar logs and decorate the openings with twigs. It's always pretty cool how some of these things were built doing this method instead of store-bought lumber. And even your garden gate. I'm going to check out the Buck Lake Club. It was an Adirondack hunting camp. And obviously, I got to watch my head. Got some bunks around and nice wood stove. Nice hunting camp.
Can't imagine having your head on this wood. Oh, all night long.
Now we're going to check out some outdoor recreation in the Adirondacks. Ah, she doesn't look like a happy camper.
I'm doing this puzzle.
We cannot teach our children what is special about our history on freeways or in shopping malls. Protecting the remnants of the wild country left today is an action that defines our nation. Take away wilderness, you diminish the opportunity to be an American. Roderick Fraser Nash, 2004. Getting back into the wilderness back in the day, these were the way to go with the Adirondack pack baskets. All made of oak. They are not as easy as you might think. Okay, so this is a lynx, and it's about the same size as Carson. Big paws for getting on top of the snow. See, Carson, lynx. Here's an Adirondack wolf that was shot in 1893. Not sure if it was, so there were wolves here, and actually I think they took a DNA sample from this one and found out it was a red wolf, not the gray wolves that they have up in Canada. Mountain lion, puma, eastern puma. This one was shot 1876, so they aren't, supposedly they aren't around anymore, although occasionally there's a sighting of one. But the Department of Conservation says that they don't exist in here, and that's a bobcat, about half the size of the lynx. And I have not seen one. They're still around, as are the porcupines and the beavers. And that's a small beaver. I've seen beavers that were that tall. And we saw the open carriage, or the open for the railroad This is a little bit more deluxe. And this would have been a private car. You could sit here. Little butler's pantry.
Hey, why do I hear a clink?
You know, so sit around as you're traveling up the Adirondacks. Maybe do a little bit of business. And so I'm thinking this is about the same, a little bit longer than my bus. And these beds that fold up to give you access down here. That's why the chains would look like this when they fold it up. So might be an idea. Somebody looking to do a schoolie. I'm saying you could do it like this. Roof raise up the middle.
Hear that clink?
In case you wondered how fast you were going, they actually had a speedometer in the car. So back in the day, for refrigerators, they would have this kind of thing with a saw to cut the ice, and pull the ice out and use it for, they'd pack it away in ice houses for the summer. But the roads, they would just pack down. So these big snow rollers, and you can imagine having the horses pulling that. Oh, you're getting a jam over there. Jump to the other log. There you go. Uh-oh, getting jammed up. Keep going. You're good. If that all jams up, you know what happens?
What?
You're never going to get them loose.
Then it gets like this. Look at that picture.
Yeah, if you let them get jammed up,
Oh my God.
it gets like that.
And then the jam ball has to come with the couple people that dynamite.
Those are the kinds of shoes you'd want to be wearing when you're driving the logs down the river. Of course, boating up here goes back. Natives, birch bark canoe. Got three beautiful ones here. And sewn up with spruce roots and sealed with pine sap. And of course there's a kayak kind of deal. That one's made out of wood. It's improved. Same in here. I mean, hey, bent twig rocker. You can still make this stuff. You just need lots and lots of little nails and access to the materials and lots of time. Okay, so you can imagine it rains and water pours into these to make a nice wooden gutter, but it's going to plug up the downspout. If you put these kinds of chains on the end, the water just runs down the chain and down through a hole in the deck. So that's what those are for, Carson. Instead of having a downspout, you just have the chains. That's a great idea. And I don't know why we don't still do that. Okay, so Carson and I are done here at the Adirondack Museum in Blue Mountain Lake. and we are off in search of ice cream. I think we're gonna head down to Inlet, which is 20 something miles away, and there's a ice cream place down there that's become highly recommended. So let's go find out. Okay, so today we're in Inlet, New York, at Northern Lights Creamery, and they tell me that a couple years ago they were voted the best ice cream in the Adirondacks. So let's see if they keep going. But I know from past experience I gotta get the cherry before he gets mine. Ha!
Mine had no stump. Hey, I'm taking a tip off. And another tip appears.
So far, so good.
Hey, tip off.
We'll get back to you as soon as we get done eating this.
Okay, so we finished it.
Okay, so it was a little smaller than some of the other places we've been to. And the hot fudge was a little bit thin at first. It was thick on the bottom, but it really wasn't as thick as many of the others we've tried. But what do you think of the ice cream?
It was good.
Yep.
I think they will set the bar like into second place, maybe.
Well, we'll see. So anyway, that's our quick opinion of here at the Northern Lights Creamery here in Inlet, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.